welcome to Do You AGRAY, a space where we have real conversations. I'm Bassam, and I have with me Kevin, Jermaine, and Lionel again. We switch seats because you're going to ask us the question.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know, because I talked about how positive my experience with church was. And I've been in a church now for close to 10 years. I know that not all the experiences are as beautiful as mine. So I don't know if you guys can share any bad experiences with church, because I don't want people to think that, you know, everybody's gonna have Lionel's experience where people are like super so kind. So, have you had any experience that were negative in church?
Yeah, we wanted to talk about this because just as much as it is important for church to be loving and kind like it was to you, to bring people in, it's the same, if not more, negativity that we've come across. I'm born and raised in the church, so your skin gets thick at some point.
That's why you stayed. That's why you stayed. Some thick skins, right?
You have no idea the things that I've heard, and you know what? I have probably been one of those people, and sometimes, I mean, we're not perfect. Sometimes we, maybe even hurt. To this day, we cause hurt unintentionally. I'm sure we've all come across, and I'm shocked that you're 10 years and you have an amazing experience.
That's amazing.
So that's really amazing. But let me just share a couple, and then I'll let you guys share too. Had a gentleman that refused to shake my hand because he wouldn't shake hands on Sabbath, and so.
So you went up to him after church?
I went up to him. You know how you put your hand forward, and they just wouldn't take your hand. So you can imagine.
What did he say? It's Sabbath?
He said that on Sabbath, I don't shake hands.
Yeah.
Not sure. I couldn't find it in the Bible. You know, maybe I don't know. But
how did you feel?
I didn't feel good, honestly, and immediately psychologically. When you feel rejection, you build some sort of distance to that person. Yeah. Somehow, maybe because I was the leader in that scenario or that specific church, I took it upon myself to okay, you know, I can take this from them because I'm the leader, so I'm here. But you know, it's different if you're coming.
Imagine that was your first day at church, though.
That's true.
He probably wouldn't come back.
That's true.
Probably wouldn't come back.
And I mean, there's so many other stories. We've had a experience with the communion.
Yeah.
And that's maybe another topic for another day. But where we were made, they made us feel bad because our daughter wanted to participate, you know. And so what better way to learn than to participate? And so, you know, but I feel like we've built thick skin. I don't know, do you guys have stories to share?
I mean, going on with the whole children, I feel that's a big part. I mean, when you become parents, your kids are like you, you know, when they're accepted, when they're welcome, when they're, you know, received, you're accepted, you're welcomed, you're received. So, like that instant about, you know, communion, whether you agree or not, I don't know.
But even generally as a mom, has there been times where the way your kids have been treated that made you?
Not many. I can't say many, but sometimes when you feel like, oh, maybe they're too loud in church, you know, they're disrupting the service. They're like, you know, you need to, go back, or, you know, I'm not going to say I'm going to leave church because of that. And I understand, you know, and it gets loud or something, but, it doesn't feel great. It feels like we don't really belong here. You know, we need to be either in the mother's room stuck or like you can't. So, I'm not gonna say it's many times, but like maybe few little times, not to the extent where I would say it was.
No, but I think you're raising a good point. It's very important for churches to understand that at the end of the day, church is a community. So there's old people, there's small people, there's tons of people in between. And so I know for sure that, like, you know, especially right now that we have church online, when you have like a parents of 3 kids and when they go into church and you force them to go into the mother's room, they're like, oh, I'll watch it online next time. You know, why am I going to come to actually watch it in a smaller room where I can watch in my living room?
It kind of reminds you of the temple where certain people weren't allowed access, you know, certain groups of people. And I think you're spot on. And I think if we have a family and the kids don't feel as welcome because you're a nuisance to the family, it just wouldn't make sense. A kid is just welcomed and they're allowed to be a kid in the family. So why aren't they as welcomed in the church?
Yeah. And so I feel like for people that are new to the church, the message I would say is stick around. Just give it another chance. And honestly, if you're not comfortable, find another place, because church it has been a valuable part in our lives, but at the same time, it's not. It hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been perfect, and so also we were talking about what's more important. Like, is love watering down the truth? You know, and that I think that question is so important because sometimes we think that truth is more important than love. But here's the thing, truth and love are one thing.
Truth is a person. Love
truth
is a person.
And Christ is the truth. And he is love.
And actually also to jump on what you were saying, like right now we are literally, I think I was hearing that we are literally like in an epidemic of loneliness.
Oh yeah.
And you have like literal people that are literally spending like a lot of money to be with people. And that's one thing that I would tell anybody watching, whether you have one friend or whether you have 100 friends, where even if you have 0 friends, if you go to church, and the thing is, church is it's not something that's going to happen in a one time. It's like a machine, you know, when you put your clothes in the machine to wash them, you don't just put them and then take them off. No, you need to leave them in the machine, and it's the process of being in the machine that cleans you up. So if you keep going, I think you're going to make friends and you're going to meet people. I have a funny story on this. One of my friends is Jamaican. He came to France and then he arrives and then people at work were like, oh, you're just coming from Jamaica. And how is it? You've just been like, you know, then his colleagues were calling him. Hey, what are you doing? He's like, no, I have plans. I'm going there with friends. And like, dude, you just arrived here. You've just been here for a week. And now you already have like plans of places to go and people to go and visit. Yes. Like, yeah, I'm Adventist. That's the way it is. You know, no matter where I go, I look for the Adventist church and then I go to church and then I get my network of people. Yeah. And so it's profound. Like, a lot of people need this.
So. I think for me, what was actually more hurtful was, in the church I grew up in Egypt, you know, even when you're Adventist, you still can wear earrings, you still can wear, you know, bracelets, you know, and it's fine for the Egyptians at least. But, some people were very certain that this is not, if you are baptized, you're not supposed to, you know, wear this and not, you know, and they made it their mission to come to every youth worship, or like those kids who are wearing earrings, they're wearing, you know, which we did, and make a full talk about how, you know, how this is not biblical, you're not supposed to, and it just, we dreaded that time, you know, we dreaded, like when we see these people, we're like, oh no, they're going to tell us, you know, we're doing something wrong, or we need to take, you know, our earrings off and bracelets, and this is, you know, it's a sin or something so bad. And we just dreaded that. We didn't leave the church because we loved each other. We loved to hang out and we loved, but it was just a heavy weight.
Church can be a place of pain. Can be a place of trauma a lot of times.
Yeah.
And but I grew up on the other side, where I'm the one who's looking for people to make mistakes, and it's almost like, oh, you're waiting for somebody to make a mistake to spot them, so that and they fell short of the standard or things like that. But as time went on, you realize, man, what is church really about?
Yeah, I have a experience. I didn't wear the jewelry, but I think I went to church once with a do-rag. I used to always wear do-rags and stuff. And I didn't want to take it off. And so some leader talked to me, and I had a family member. He wasn't in the church, and he was troubled, was going through a phase. And so they looked at me, and they're like, I wasn't compliant or whatever. And they're like, he's just going to be like his whoever my relative was, uncle or aunt.
Wow.
And I remember that stayed with me till now. And it hurt, like you look at me and, okay, that's what you see. I'm glad I stayed. I ended up staying and being in the youth ministry and speaking, and ended up becoming a pastor. And then I became their pastor in a sense.
Wow.
A pastor
that
they called pastor. But I wish they would have looked at me and saw something else, said something else. So I think it's just important to be careful what we say, what we see in people, and not just judge them based on the outward, because we never really know what God is doing in their life and the end goal of what can be. And maybe we should be excited and curious about that and welcome that.
Yes, if we can if we can see just what this person can become, and I feel like for our our story of falling in love with Jesus, for me at least, like it was so people that loved me so much, even when I wasn't interested so much in church, I wasn't interested in Bible study. I wasn't like bad, but I was just living my life, selfish, it's all about me. But they loved me and loved me, and they were not there to. They didn't love me just to change me. They didn't love me just to convert me, or but they just fully loved me. And that's I believe, like when it comes to church, like what is our mission, or what are we there for? Is it to correct people, to tell them what they're doing wrong and where they need to change, or is it to show them the love of Christ? And that love will tell them what to do.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly true.
Can't say it any better.
Maybe we can finish off with a story about your brother.
What?
And in high school, he was he was hoping to become a pastor at the time. Plans changed, but he preached, and supposedly you probably will say the story better.
I don't remember much. I think my dad told you.
Yeah.
Tell us what you know then.
Yeah. My dad told him more.
He preached a powerful sermon. People loved it, and the message was there, and he prepared. And one of I think it was a leader or a pastor that came up to him and told him, everything about what you did was right, except one thing. Your hair was to the back, not to the side.
Are you serious? Sorry, I don't want to raise my hand. I feel like giving him a brother. What are you doing?
young high schooler about to build his life. He's dedicating his life to
You're not serious though.
I'm serious.
No. We had people like this in Egypt.
We'll have him come and share his his story. But
this is so sad.
Yeah. So things like this happen all the time. They
can't find anything wrong, so they'll look at the hair or something. It's again like what I said. It's like, is it your mission to correct people? And I feel like correct what is there, or what is your mission?
Yeah.
As a church, as a leader.
That's another discussion we can have, is what church is, what it has become, and what it's supposed to be, and how can we improve things? How can we push more the love concept, the concept of acceptance, and it starts with leaders. Leaders, it's very important. Yeah. This is, I think, our message.
It's very, very important.
Leaders, please, don't focus on people's mistakes, and don't focus on man-made rules.
It drives people from God.
It drives people away. Really people will leave, and imagine if maybe
we're like that lady.
And yours,
that lady.
Imagine everybody like that lady.
Just welcome you with your alcohol on your breath, sleeping in church,
absolutely,
letting the Spirit work, and you just love.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
To be honest,
only love corrects.
Wow.
Only love corrects properly.
Wow.
That's the point. Yeah.
See, that's it.
That's it. We can't say anything.
See, our new co-host.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I watch all the videos.
So, to wrap up, everyone, share your experience. What have been your experiences with the church? Some negative experiences that you may have had. What can we do to do better? And also, what are some positive ones you've had as well?
Share this in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yay!